Our next guest is an author, a poet, a youth rehabilitation director, and founder of two nonprofit organizations, Network and Chill, which stands for Collectively Handcrafting Intentional Lifelong Leaders. I'm glad they used the name Chill. That's a little easier to remember. Uh, and on that, he seeks to unite and teach youth how to operate in the professional world. Our guest sits on the board of Student Writers Studio and is a family support partner for an organization that's called Vision for Children at Risk. Within the next 12 months, our guest will seek to create a community empowerment movement incorporating faith, property ownership, and group economics. Please welcome the author of Broken Pieces and the new fiance to Andrea Scott, Gabriel Desince. Gabriel? Welcome, there he is. Welcome to Between the Palms.
Okay, all right.
I know it's kind of weird, but just a little casual, get to know you. I'll be asking some questions and you can answer these questions and however you want. I forgot to mention this, so I need to say it now, that a little disclaimer, anybody thinks that I'm trying to rip something off of another person or another actor, or that I totally am. This is completely and unashamedly stolen from James Lipton's long-running series, Inside the Actor's Studio. Some of the questions that I'll be asking come from that interview. Others come from one of our production staff named Jerry. He came up with some questions too. But so if it's okay with you, sit back and relax and let her fly.
Okay, all right. I feel the breeze from my palm.
Well, yeah, let me know if you need to take a margarita or a pina colada break or something like that.
Right.
So let me ask, when I introduced you, I said Gabriel Desince, but did I pronounce your name correctly?
It's close. It's actually Desince.
Desince.
Yeah.
That sounds French.
Yes. Yeah. Haitian Creole.
Haitian Creole. Okay. Excellent. So that's part of your lineage, huh?
Yeah. So my father was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Okay.
And so, yep. So I carry on the Desince name. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to make a note of that. Well, but did I say Gabriel right?
Yes.
Do you go by
That's a given.
Or Gabriel or
Gabe.
Angel?
Gabe or Gabriel. I a lot of people tend to just defer to Gabe. I mean, I'm okay either way.
All right, cool. So do you here's another question. Do you have a middle name? And if so, do you ever use it?
Crazy enough. So I really use my middle name. But I sign with it, which is weird. I sign with it. It's Emmanuel.
Okay.
Emmanuel. But we would say in Haiti in the Creole, Emmanuel.
Okay.
So it kind of has that almost like a Hispanic sound to it. But it's still God is with us, Emmanuel.
Right. So so the U in there takes on a W pronunciation, right? Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Were you named after somebody?
Yeah. The angel.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the guy who's always blowing his horn and
The one in the Bible? Okay. Yeah.
yeah, saying don't be scared.
The trumpeter? Sure.
Just popped up on you with a trumpet.
Yeah. Always thought that was something that had to be said. You come down with the trumpet, you poof in out of nowhere, and then you gotta say, "Don't be afraid."
Right.
Oh, okay. So, what is the first thing you do in the morning?
I drink water. I always have like a bottle of water like near me, and that's the first thing I do. And then I make tea. Crazy. Like I love tea. I don't know what it is about tea, but I love Assam tea,
Okay.
and English breakfast and chai tea. Those are like my favorites. And so yeah, so I always make a pot of tea, and then I tend to cook breakfast, and then once breakfast is made, I read. Um, Actually, me and Andrea has been reading we've been going through Genesis. We've been going through the Bible from start to finish. So
Okay.
that's our goal, is to go through the whole entire Bible together. So we tend to eat breakfast and read together too.
That's cool. That's neat.
Yep.
That's really neat. So you prefer the hot tea or the cold tea?
Hot tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even when it's like it could be 100 and something degrees out,
Yeah.
I would still like drink hot tea out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat. So, what is the oldest thing in your house?
Huh. Me? No. uh,
Those
I
palm
would
trees
say,
behind you.
yeah,
Huh?
right. I would say the house itself, maybe. Like, does that count?
You have anything antique in there?
Uh, Drill, we got anything antique in here?
How old's the couch? 5 years?
How old's the couch?
How old is the couch?
Yeah.
2 years old.
Well, yeah. I don't think we have anything antique in here.
All right, that's fine. That's interesting because some people do and some people don't. So, if the oldest thing you have in the house is 5 years old, then that's then it is. No judgment.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing big. So, what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Um. Creatively, spiritually, emotionally. I would say, can it be like something kind of separate for each thing, or does that have to be?
Sure.
Um.
However you want to answer it.
So I would say creatively, movies and hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I'm a big into lyricism. So, even like in my poetry style,
Uh-huh.
when I perform it, I kind of sometimes perform it kind of rhythmically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm big into lyricists. I love like some of the old school hip hop, like Nas, or like like Talib Kweli, or just some classics.
Sure.
Even Tribe Called Quest, and going further back, like some. I listen to some Run DMC tracks from
Yep.
time to time. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then movies. Movies is another like creative like inspiration. And then like sometimes all of it is kind of stirred when I go on my walks, and like I be talking to God and like just praying, and like an idea will just come, or a poem will just come
Uh-huh.
after, like, and also Andrea will tell you that I've also written poems in church. So sometimes in that environment, that space also kind of is conducive to my creativity.
During the sermon.
Yes, it's. I mean, that would then give way to say that you help, some of my creativity.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's either that or take a nap, right? Oh boy. So talking about your poetry a little bit more, you call yourself, what is it? What's the phrase that you use to describe your kind of poetry in your reading?
Rhythmic?
Poetic therapy, is that what you?
Oh yeah, poetic therapy.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Say a little bit more about that. Who's it therapeutic for? Is it therapeutic for you? Is it therapeutic for the audience?
I would like to say it's therapeutic for both. it's just creating that environment for me not only to, share something I'm feeling or my thoughts, but also for there to be processing, and then when there's processing, and when what I mean by processing is, hearing that, if you're familiar with mindfulness, or I think it's called mindfulness, where you use your senses to kind of, process that moment, and you be in that moment. I like to think that happens with poetry. I like to think that, all your senses are being, keen in and fixed in on that moment. You're listening, you're listening to descriptive words that might trigger your senses. You're listening to words that might trigger your feelings. You process that internally, you respond, and you react. So that's kind of where the poetic therapy comes from.
That's neat. That's really neat.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, here's another question. Serious question. What is your favorite word?
Oh man, you asking the author what's his favorite word?
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask it this way then. What is your favorite word to write?
Oh, okay. Oh man, that's a tough one too. But I think that's a really tough one. I'm going through like my mind, it's just moving the pages of poetry in my mind right now. Right. To think of to scan all of the words that well, I guess I can kind of go stick with the first, the first question you asked. Yeah. To go back to that, I would say intentional. Yeah. Now, though it's not my favorite word to write, I would like to think that when I am writing, I'm being intentional. And so it really alludes to my passion, but on top of that, intentionality is just taking that extra care to something, to do it for a reason and for a purpose, So yeah, I would say intentional.
Okay, good. So then what is your least favorite word?
Ooh, this is weird, but I really do not like the word crack. I don't know. I don't know why I don't like it. I just don't.
Okay.
Some people don't like the word moist. I don't like the word crack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. That's no explanation needed. Unless you wanted to give an explanation.
I mean, it's, when people would say growing up, oh, you step on a crack, you break your mama's back and all that stuff. I don't like crack. I don't like the word crack for drugs. I don't know. It's just something I just don't.
It's kind of like nails on a chalkboard, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, what is your favorite curse word?
I don't really curse a lot. I don't really curse a lot, but I would say the one that I've probably used the most when I have has been damn. Yeah. And it's because it's such a versatile word. It's and you could say it with so many different feelings, and you could be cool or happy about something, or you can be like upset about something. You can be like indifferent to something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a word for all seasons, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next question. What sound or noise do you love?
Sound and noise. I really like musical instruments. So I really like, especially like saxophone.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love like hearing a saxophone or hearing like a violin. Um, and then I guess for the noise one, I would say when the tea kettle's going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that noise. Yep, that and shower, a sound of a shower.
Okay. The water coming
Mm-hmm.
down. Yeah. It's interesting that those two are both involve water. You know, one in the form of steam and one in the form of liquid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so, what is the sound or a noise that you hate?
Sound or noise that I hate. I I hate like abrupt noises. Like sometimes some of the noises we hear on our side of town, like the gunshots or the but yeah, just all together, I just can't. I don't like abrupt noises. A lot of fireworks that go on at
Oh yeah.
night, and it's like no holiday right now. What
Yeah.
like going on? Like, but yeah, abrupt noises. I
Okay.
don't like
So, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
a profession other than my own. You know, I would say being a detective.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically a detective. I wouldn't mind, and I know like most of the time I think, to be a detective you have to be an officer first. I think in
Right.
most occasions. I think sometimes you can go to school and kind of bypass certain things. I'm not fully sure. But specifically like I wouldn't mind being a detective.
Okay. Is that so you could say phrases like "the jig is up"? See.
Or like come onto a crime scene and be like, damn, like
Use your favorite word.
right.
Nice. Great. So, what profession would you not like to do at all? What's the worst profession that the last thing you would want to do?
The last thing I would want to do would be ooh, hmm. I couldn't see myself being, I keep on wanting to say a bus driver.
Yeah.
Just because I mean let Drea tell you I drive crazy. I don't think so, but we get there alive every time. Obviously, we would not be having this conversation.
Right.
Uh,
But you
but
don't want that responsibility for all the other people on board, huh?
right, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, I would say a bus driver because, and then for that reason, but also, sometimes things go down on a bus, like, people do some crazy stuff and you're trying to drive and try to like see what they're doing and make
Yeah.
sure, and yeah.
Mm. All right. Well, now you're probably wondering, you agreed to have this conversation and answer questions from your minister, but where are all the religious questions going to come? Now's when we get into the religious realm. So I
Okay.
want you to name for me in descending order the minor prophets and then the major prophets. Can you? No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Oh, I was going to attempt. I mean, I was going to try.
Okay, excluding Jesus and God, take them out of the picture. Who in the Bible would you like to talk to?
Um, that's a tough one too. I'm kind of caught between two people. I'm caught between. Oh man, I'm caught between three people. I'm caught between Paul, Moses, and Solomon.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, and Enoch. I wouldn't mind. I mean, all right, but I gotta choose one.
Yeah. This isn't a party line. You got to pick
Right. I would say Solomon.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say King Solomon.
Anything in particular you want to bring up?
To ask him,
Yeah.
man, how you have 400 wives? like, bro, like, like that would be question number one. You know, like, cause I mean, you know, when we try to, you know, love and care for our one, you know, and get to know their intricacies and all those things, this man had 400.
Damn.
So, right.
Oh. Okay.
Oh man.
Here we go. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Man. I love you and I'm glad you're home. Like, yeah, you know, like just the thought of being loved, you know. One of my favorite writers, he wrote the Brennan Manning wrote the Ragamuffin Gospel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he said that the question isn't gonna be, you know, how come you didn't pray enough to me? How come you didn't go to church enough? How come you didn't, you know, do this or do that? But he said that the question he thinks God is going to ask us is, did you believe I loved you? You know?
Wow.
And so just to hear God say that, I think would be everything.
Yeah. That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. I do have it on good authority, though, that God is going to ask you, why were you writing poems instead of listening to the sermon?
Oh, man.
I'm kidding.
I think, yeah, I think he's gonna have you right there. Like,
I'll tell you what.
You listening to this man? Like,
hey, this was a great time. Thank you for agreeing to be on Between the Palms.
Yeah. This is
wonderful. I look forward to getting to know you even better and maybe having more conversations down the road.
Yeah, this was a great idea. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. Take care now.
All right. Take it easy.